Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I am Andrew Patch, Adams County Republicans Media Director. This is our chairman, Gerald Walker.
Good evening.
We wanted to take a few minutes in all the craziness of this election and everything to go over the local results, because unlike the federal stuff with the president and whatever, locals results went very well.
Yes, as far as getting them in, tabulating them, very, very well done job by the clerk staff.
Now these numbers are the latest as of this morning. There are a few things, and we're gonna talk very briefly, but not a lot about it because I don't know too much about them. But there are some what they call provisional ballots.
Correct.
That means the voter went to the vote center and they weren't registered,
there was some question about their registration for one effect or the other. So they were able to vote by paper ballot, and it is their responsibility to present documentation to the clerk's office or to answer any questions. It's a safeguard to make sure that everyone who is eligible to vote is allowed to vote. And it is just a way that any questions that come up regarding somebody's registration can be answered. And if they are a duly registered voter, then their vote counts. If they're like somebody that came in from Wabash and asked to vote in Adams County, they do not get to vote though, and that actually happened. So all the legal votes will get counted.
Okay, so basically we're going to touch on some of the presidential and statewide races, but we're going to focus on the main at home.
Right. We're going to look at a few statistics as far as who had the best voter turnout, who had the most Republican, or who had the most Trump precinct, and who had the most Biden precinct. Believe it or not, there was one that, well, of course, you'd have out of 25 precincts, somebody has to be have the most percentages for Biden, somebody has the most percentages for Trump. And we did have a change in the most Trump precinct this year, so we'll be going over that.
Oh, good. Okay. Just doing some light housekeeping to make sure any comments that you have that we can see, and we will try to answer them in a timely manner. But the way this is set up, we may not see them all while we're live. So just bear with us, and hopefully
one of us will keep talking, and I'll keep talking, and Andrew can look at the screen there.
So I guess we can go. Well, where do we want to start?
This is out right here, Andrew. We've got the straight ticket vote. It's hard just looking at the raw numbers here to garner percentages, but the straight party vote, what really jumps out, let's just take a look at these. Burn A and B, which is everything north of Main Street, and then also southeast of Highway 27 for the most part. They had comparable numbers of straight party votes, 162, 179. Burn C, which I'm not sure if they have about the same number of registered voters or not. They only had 116.
Okay.
Let's see here. Looking at this, some of the smaller numbers. Out in Blue Creek Township, there were 5 Democrat straight votes. Union Township, up in the northeast section of the county, there were only 3 straight Democrat votes. Granted, there are fewer people in these townships, but still those are really extreme numbers one way or the other. Looking at this, the most number of, and really by precinct, when you're in a town, they should be comparable because they're to be divided up evenly for the most part. You know, just like I commented on Byrne, looking at Decatur 1 had 150, Decatur 2 Republican straight votes, Decatur 2 had 173. Decatur 3 and 4 mustn't be quite as big. They had 72 and 86 respectively. Decatur 5 had 171. So that's what we've got there as far as straight party vote. Are you ready to go with anything, or do you want me to keep going?
Well, hang on. I noticed. I think I made a mistake, but I'm trying to find it. I noticed there was, when I was going through this, there's actually 2 libertarian straight party tickets.
Yes.
But I forgot to update it on my spreadsheet.
Okay, one was in one precinct, one was in another.
No, they were actually both the same precinct.
They were?
Yeah.
I must have read mine wrong.
Because it was.
Oh, that's right. I remember what I was looking at. That's another scenario.
Here we go. Decatur 5 had 2 libertarians.
Straight party votes.
Straight party
That's
vote.
where Libertarian headquarters is. Speaking of libertarians, Donald Rainwater made quite a showing in Adams County. He came in second place with Governor Holcomb running away with the whole show. Governor Holcomb for the whole county, what did he get up to? I'm trying to remember whether it's 66% at least or more.
So.
Yeah, 66. Rainwater had something like what, 12, 15 to 18, 15, close to 15. Yeah.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about, which we kind of jump around here, but I want to talk a little bit about what we've saw with the presidential election, the craziness and recounts and all that. But at a local level, what is an actual election? What does it consist of, like, for Adams County people? Like, we know that you vote on Tuesday.
Right.
6 a.m. to 6 p.m., but you also have a couple different, like when they put it out on here, you get the paper absentees, the walk-in absentees, and the election day results.
Correct.
So of course, election day is you vote in person on the election
day. This year it was November 3rd, correct.
And then the paper absentee, that would be like your mail-in vote.
Right. Somebody that was confined to their home, a college student, somebody that works away from the county, somebody that is caring for someone and can't get away, they could vote by mail, yes.
And then we've seen normal people voting by mail with this pandemic stuff, but normally it's restricted to those people.
Yes, and it was restricted this time.
Oh, it was?
Yes.
Oh.
It was not a free run.
Well, maybe that's why there wasn't so many.
Right. Excuse me.
So election-wide for Adams County, we had 5,139 people that voted in person on election day.
Okay.
We had 1,361 people that voted paper absentee, so mail-in ballot.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which, looking at that number, that's why I assumed it was still open, because that's a lot more than we normally have.
No, I had a few people call me asking health-wise questions about them being confined or under quarantine, so to speak. There were a few like that were able to get theirs in at the last minute, from what I understand. So there was, and anyone 65 or over by state law has been able to vote by mail for years. So there's a lot involved on how that, 1,100 or so gets stacked up.
And then we had 7,884 people that voted walk-in absentee, which is your vote centers, your courthouse, all before the election.
Right.
So we had the most people voted early.
Right, in person early, and there were 300 to 500 people a day at some of these sites, and there could have even been more.
But countywide, we looked at a public vote count of 14,384 people for a total of 72.88% voter turnout.
Right. In Northeast Indiana, we were third place out of 10 counties. Wells County beat us. And there was one other county, I forget which one it was. But that was pretty good, 72% voter turnout.
At least we didn't get over 100.
And we did not have over 100% turnout like some places, correct?
There's some places with like 125 voter turnout. I'm pretty sure that's not right. Somebody might have messed up the number.
That's why the higher ups have the lawyers, and I don't.
We can't afford the lawyers.
No,
we gotta be our own lawyer.
We're good around here.
Anyhow, and then we have a total of 19,737 registered voters in Adams County.
Right.
So that's the generalization of voter turnout, which I think I hit everything I had on my paper.
Okay.
I think. Yep. So if you look at precinct by precinct, and I'm going to pull that up now. We got a voter turnout. Hopefully you can see it all right here. Okay. So this is showing us the voter turnout by precinct.
Okay. Burn C had 81%.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's alphabetically up to
So
Jefferson. Did anybody have any more?
Our winner of the most turnout would be
percentage-wise
would be Kirkland precinct.
Kirkland precinct, okay.
And that is at 83.89% turnout. They had 500 people vote.
Yes.
They had a total of 596 registered.
All right, congratulations to Kirkland Township.
Out of that,
precinct, one and the same.
It looks like out of that, 159 people voted on election day.
Okay.
You had 36 people vote by mail.
All right.
And 305 people voted early.
Okay, so first runner-up then would be Burn C.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Based on percentages.
Do we dare point out? Say, like, are we able to flip that to the ones after Jefferson?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. If anybody's reading the screen there. Do we dare look at who had the worst percentage turnout, which would still be very respectable?
I think the worst turnout.
Or the least. Let's say least, because whatever it is, it's not. We're not going to say that it's bad.
Okay. I think that would be the Jefferson at 58% turnout.
They were farming.
And they still had, that was still a good turnout, better than any other election. So
okay.
But they were at 58. They had 165 people vote.
Yes.
Out of 281 registered.
You know, there's several precincts like this, but I remember when we used to get the vote totals precinct by precinct, one at a time, to go all through 25. We knew that when Jefferson precinct came in, Jefferson Township, we knew that the Republican candidate would go up by at least 100 votes, and they're reliably red, definitely.
We had, let's see, our main, based on public count, our winner would be Decatur 5. They had 1,134 people vote.
Okay.
Based on how many people actually voted. They had a 70% turnout, but they had the most people.
All right. Congratulations to Decatur 5.
Monroe A had the least amount of people,
and they
at 90.
They're the smallest.
But they had a 77% turnout.
Yep.
And they only had 116 people that are registered. So we all did really well. as far as the highest that voted on election day, that looks like Burn B for 417 people on election day.
Okay.
So just throwing some numbers at you here. Okay, what else do we want to cover?
Well, I was looking at things just to go over briefly the incorporated places. Trump got in Geneva, Trump got almost 73% of the vote. And Jim Banks did a little better in Geneva, but 75%. Looking at the city of Bern, roughly 79%, give or take. The town of Monroe, I think high 70s, yeah, 77% for Trump. And then the city of Decatur was high 60s. Let's see here, 64%, 61%, 62. So that leads me to the highest Trump precinct and the highest Biden precinct in the county. And last time, I think French precinct township was the Trumpiest precinct in the county, but this time it's changed. It goes to South Monroe, who'd had a whopping 91% of the vote there went for Donald John Trump.
See, I like when we went to the vote centers, I like the vote centers because I only had to pay attention to 7 papers on my vote centers.
Right. And then looking at this, we have the most Biden. The Biden headquarters for Decatur, for Adams County, was in Decatur precinct number. Was it Decatur precinct 3? Oh, I got the boundaries for 2. No, Decatur precinct 3, I believe. No, let's take a look here. I apologize, people. Biden got 34.69 in Decatur 3, and he got 35.03 in Decatur 2. So Decatur 2, that's the southern part of the city of Decatur. I believe it's what's south of. Let's do this. I'm going to enlarge the map. It's out by the hospital. It's
You had a map?
It's a blurry map. Yes.
I didn't have a map.
Ed just sent me a map.
Aha.
It's east of Highway 27, and is that Grant Street? South of Grant Street.
Looks like it might be.
Yeah, comes on over there. Not immediately south of downtown, but just south of downtown. Kind of like at let's take a look here. Looks like it could begin in the 5 Points area and south. So that, and if I'm not mistaken, that was the Hillary headquarters last time. They got the highest percentage, a whopping 35%.
I do want to say hello to Ed. He's watching. He commented a couple times. I
Good evening, Ed.
Didn't see him. But anyhow, so this has been an interesting election locally. We'll have the provisionals will be done Friday, so they'll fluctuate a little bit, but I don't think there's enough provisionals that's going to change any of the outcomes.
It does not look like it, and I would definitely say that's not up to me to say that anything would change. That's the clerk's office responsibility.
That'd be Wes on the election board.
Wes is the Republican member of the Wisconsin, Republican member of the election board. John Minch is the Democrat member of the election board, and Jim Ogilvie, county clerk, is the third member.
And they're the ones that get together to decide whether it's a good ballot.
Right. They present the evidence is presented, and they go by the rule of law. Yeah. So that's what I had in mind tonight. Anything else on your end, sir?
I don't think so. We're gonna get back into the swing of things. In January, we're gonna start doing our meet and greets live on the Republican channel. We did some of that during the elections. I think they did very well. So January is gonna be our first one that we're gonna do, and I'm hoping to have one of our newly elected people on with us. and then some of the older people, and we want to start interviewing some of the township people as well to what they're doing. So
Okay.
moving forward, obviously having breakfasts are not going to happen for a few months, but this is our way to keep the public informed of what the party's doing and who you actually vote for. We got all the numbers, but who are the people that we're actually voting for?
Right. Yeah, this way we've got a conversation with them, and you can see who these people are.
But okay, I think that's it for tonight. Anything else?
I guess not. We're ready to sign off. Till next time, thank you very much for watching.
Okay, have a great day.